Hello everyone. In the series of Learning Database Management System, today we are going to solve some example on stored procedures. So let's take the employee database. I have an employee database. So I'm using that employee database. Okay, so my database is changed. If you want to see how many tables I have here, so when I will do show tables, it will give me the tables which I have in this particular database. I'm having one table as employee and I'm having another table as department. So let's see the data. Select start from, I want to select everything from department. So here, as you can see, my department is having two attributes. One is department number, which is a primary key, and another is department name. So here I'm having three department: parole, um, then tech support, and research. Okay. Now, next, if you want to see, we are having employee table. So here, employee table is having 6 column where employee ID is the primary key, and here if you can see I have used the attribute name means D number. I have denoted it as DNO, and here it is a foreign key which is taking its reference from D number of department. So these are two tables I'm having with me. Now, let us suppose we want to keep track of total salary of employee working in each department. So what I want, for example, my D number is 1, and for 1 I'm having payroll. So those employees who are working in payroll department, I want to keep track of their salary. For example, if you can see, John is working in payroll department and Bill is working in payroll department, but bill salary is not mentioned. So that means for whenever I'm getting this D number 1, I should get the salary which is 1 lakh. Fine. Similarly for tech support, so 2, the salary should be 50,000, and for third one, the third department research, it should be 80,000 plus 50,000, right? So the total, I want to keep track of all these according to, on the basis of department. Okay, so let's create a table from this existing table. And if you know this concept, we are having a syntax create table as. So whenever we want to create a table from existing table, and when we want to copy the attributes with values of the existing table to a new table, we use the syntax create table as. So if I want to copy everything, for example, just see here, if I want to create a table as it is, what is the value present in employee. So let us suppose I want to create the table. So create table, I will give the table name, and I'm giving the table name as EMP as. Fine. And in bracket, I have to mention what I want from the older table. So here I have to give select, and I want to copy as it is everything. So I will give select star from and the older table name from which I want to copy. Fine. So when I will do this, so as you can see, 5 rows affected. Now if I will do select star from EMP, if you check this, I will get exact data. The data will be populated as it is, which was there in the employee table. Fine. So right now I don't want to work on this EMP table, so I'm dropping this table. So drop table EMP, and it is done. So now EMP is no more there, only I'm having two tables, that is employee and department. Okay. Now what I was saying, let us suppose I want to keep track of employee salary on the basis of department. So I'm creating a new table with existing table. So create table, and I'm giving this table name as, for department salary I'm keeping track, so I'm giving the name as department salary. as. Okay, now here, if I want to select only particular attributes, only particular column, so here in the bracket with select I have to mention that. So select. Now I want D number from department, so here I will write D number, comma, and one more column I want, that is and that column, inside that column all the values I want 0. Fine, so I'm mentioning 0 as total salary. So one column will come with the name total salary, and all the values for that column will be 0 from department, because department table is not having this total salary, so I'm creating it like this. Okay, so this is done. Create table department DEPT salary as select D number, comma 0 as total salary from department. Okay, if you can do the, if you will do this, so if you can see query, okay, 3 rows affected. Why 3 rows affected? Because in my department table I'm having only 3 rows, 1, 2 and 3. Fine, so department number is coming from there, and one more column is coming, that is total salary with the value 0. So let's check, select star from DPT salary. So when I will do this, if you can see here, I'm having 3 rows and 2 columns. So department number is coming from department table, and total salary is the column which we created with assigned value 0 for all the columns. Fine. Now next what we have to do, we have to create a procedure. Now before creating a procedure, I have to change my delimiter, because as I have already explained in the earlier video of delimiter, in procedures and function, we use this semicolon in say so many places as a statement terminator. So to avoid the confusion, here for SQL we change the delimiter whenever we work with um, functions and procedure. So our first step, every time when we will work with procedures and function, we will change the delimiter. So here I'm changing the delimiter, and for changing delimiter, my syntax is delimiter, and then I have to give delimiter character, the new character which I want now as delimiter. So I'm putting this slash forward slashes, 2 forward slashes as delimiter. So now my delimiter is changed. Okay, now let's create a procedure. So for creating a procedure also, I have explained the syntax and one basic example of procedure in my previous video. If you have not seen that video, please see that video, so it will be more clear. So I'm creating a procedure, and I'm giving this procedure name as update salary. So this is my procedure name. Okay, now as you remember, we can give argument or parameter in the bracket. So this procedure will take one argument, and it will be in type argument, so it value will be taken by this procedure, and I will name that argument or parameter as parameter 1, and this will take integer type value. Fine, so I am creating a procedure with name update salary, and it will take one argument, and that argument will be in type, that means only reading is possible. And here the argument name I'm giving as parameter 1. So I have written parameter 1, and this int is the data type for that particular argument. Now after this, for beginning of procedure, we give the command begin. It's same like your C++. There your function definition starts before writing function definition, you have to put a curly braces, and at the end you have to put, again you have to close the curly braces. Similarly here, what we will do, it will start with begin and it will end with end. Fine, so here I will give the procedure. So inside begin I will write what I am doing. I am updating the salary. So here I am writing update and table name my table name. Now my new table name where updated salary will come is department salary. Fine. And what kind of update I want here? I want to set total salary. There is a column known as total salary. So I want to set total salary is equals to. Now what I want to do, I will write the query here in the bracket. So what we want select, we want total salary, right? So select, here I'm using the aggregate function sum, and where it will work on the salary column. And salary column is where? Salary column is present in employee table. So select sum of salary from employee table. Fine. Where? Now in employee table also we are having department number. So where DNO is equals to, fine, department number which I am going to pass. So that what I am going to pass will be read by this parameter, right? So I will give this parameter name 1. Okay. Now so it will select the salary and it will find the sum from employee table where department number is matching to the number which we are passing for this particular function. At the time of calling this procedure, what parameter I am passing, the value which is catch here by PARA1, this parameter 1, uh, it will equate that with a department number, and for that particular department it will compute the salary, right? So this is the internal query, and where we are setting this, so where D number, because in department this is denoted by D number, so where D number is equals to, now this also should be equal, so PARA1, right? And this is termination of this update command. So we have updated department salary table. What we have done, we have set the total salary. What we are doing, we are finding out the sum of the salary from employee table on the basis of the value which we are passing here in this parameter, and in the department table for that particular department number we are setting that particular salary. Okay. Now after this, what we have to do, we have to end this query. So here I'm writing end. Now still my procedure is not ended. Why? Because I have not kept the delimiter. Right now my delimiter is what? Double slash, this forward slash. So when I will put this delimiter, my procedure definition will be end. Fine. So basically what we are doing, we are defining a procedure called as update salary, which will take a input, a department number. It will take a input and that value will go to parameter 1. The body of the procedure, if you can see what is between begin and end, is known as body of the procedure. The body of the procedure is a SQL command to update the total salary column. So here the total salary column of department salary will get updated on the basis of this particular uh, parameter value which is coming as a input when we will call the procedure. And at last we are terminating the definition of this particular procedure by putting delimiter. So as soon as I will do this, what will happen, my procedure will be created. Fine. So if you can see, my procedure is created now because we are very habitual of that semicolon. So again I'm changing my delimiter. So here my delimiter I'm changing back to semicolon. So what I have to write, I have to write delimiter space and the delimiter character which I want. So my delimiter is now changed. Fine. Now let's call this. Okay. So when I will call this, how to call, I have to write the keyword call and I have to write this procedure name. So my procedure name is update salary. Correct. Now I will pass here the value. It is taking one integer type value. So if you can see here, I'm having department number 1, 2, 3. So 1 is integer. I'm passing this for first department I want to calculate the salary. So I am passing this. Fine. And I'm terminating this. So as you can see, query okay, one row affected. Let's see how it is affected. So select star from DPT salary. Fine. This is my new table where I'm doing the update. So as you can see, 1 lakh is coming. How 1 lakh is coming? Because this procedure is executed, and what it did from employee table where D number is 1. So here D number is 1, here D number is 1, but here is null. So it found the sum for this value and this value. Fine. And what we have done, where department number is also same. So department number is also same where here, and here it's updated that row. Fine. Let's call this for row 2 also. So whenever I want to call for row 2, it will be like this, and when I want to call for row 3, it will be like this. See, it's taking only one attribute and it's reading the value. Okay, now if I want to see the data in department salary, as you can see, I'm finding the total sum of all the columns. Fine. Okay, now let us suppose I want to see what and all procedures are present in my system. What is the status of the procedure? Fine. So what I have to do, I have to use the command show procedure. Okay, and status. So this command show procedure status, it will display the procedure status in front of me. So as you can see, right now I'm working in employee DB. So here in employee DB, I'm having a procedure update salary. Similarly, in I'm having a table student DB, there I'm having a procedure hello. Fine. Now let us suppose I want to delete or drop this procedure. So what I have to do, I just have to write drop and then drop procedure, and then I have to give the procedure name. So what is procedure name for my employee DB? Update salary. So here if I will give update salary, okay, if I will give this, my procedure will be dropped. So now if you see, uh, if I will try to call the procedure, let us suppose again for 3 I want to call it, so procedure doesn't exist. Okay, so this is how you can create a procedure in which you can give the definition whatever you want in the body of the procedure, and whatever work you want that procedure to do and how many times you want it to do, that many times you can call that particular procedure and your work will be done. Fine. So you can use flow control also. So whenever you want your procedure to run accordingly, it will run. Fine. So this is it for today. Thank you.